What's up, y'all? It's your boy, it's your man, Dirty C, and today we are taking a look at the Callisto Protocol. Yes, we are gonna tear down the story, gameplay, and performance of this highly anticipated game and smack down our almighty judgment of buy, sale, or ditch. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, and comment down below. Now, let's take a look at if the Callisto Protocol gets acquitted of all the charges or put in a full-on prison lockdown. Let's go! Story. The first real strike against the Callisto Protocol comes from its nearly non-existent story. Crash landing after being boarded by a terrorist organization, our protagonist Jacob Lee finds himself crashed on the vacant moon of Callisto and unlawfully detained at Black Iron Prison. This is an incredibly solid story setup, but unfortunately the Callisto Protocol does little with it other than simply using it to get you from point A to point B. Throughout the game, the story rarely hits any kind of deep, emotional, thought-provoking story arc and is purely there just to shuffle you from one end of the map to the other. Our main man, Jacob, sees little by means of character development until he very suddenly, at the end of the game, turns on a dime and has a huge revelation at the end of the game, which basically comes out of nowhere. Even our companions, Elias and Danny, have little by the way of character motivations, and the game doesn't develop enough of a connection with them for us to really care about them. The third act in Callisto Protocol is where the story really starts to fall off the rails. In the last hour, so much information and plot device is rammed down your throat that it just comes off as incredibly rushed and has little impact. Gameplay. If the Callisto Protocol is going to shine, moments of greatness can be found in its gameplay. The thick, damp feeling of dread permeates from every nook and cranny in the map. The environment and world it creates legitimately creates a sense of tense, edge-of-your-seat feeling that I haven't felt in a video game in quite some time. Riddled with jump scares, it legitimately leaves you nervous to look around the next corner, though some of the jump scare tropes are wildly overused, and by the end of the game, they're just annoying. For me, the jury is still out on the quality of the combat. It's heavy, weighty, slow, and genuinely adds to the overall anxiety of the experience. The new dodge mechanic, in my opinion, is either really great or just bad, depending on the situation. When you're taking on one or two enemies at a time, the combat and dodge mechanic are almost perfect and really adds to the gritty feeling of the overall experience. However, mid to late game, there are far too many enemies in each arena, making the combat feel tedious and wildly frustrating. Last, but certainly not least, the boss design in this game is absolutely abysmal and does not pair well with the sometimes clunky feeling combat. There is one particular late game boss that becomes a semi-regular enemy that was nearly game-breaking for me, and the final big bad boss leaves a bit to be desired. Performance. I played Callisto Protocol on PS5 and had little to no issues. Occasionally, I would have a random limb stuck floating in the air, or rarely have some death animation bug out, but on console, it generally ran great. PS5 offers the standard quality and performance modes, and I much preferred playing in performance mode, as it just looked like things were smoother and more polished. Playing the Callisto Protocol with headphones is an absolute must, as the audio design is absolutely phenomenal and carries a lot of the weight when it comes to building tension. The overall use of darkness and lighting in the game was incredibly well implemented, and I had no issues with any of those effects loading in or out or anything. However, the haptic trigger utilization is nearly non-existent. Now, I'm aware if you're a PC player, this game is absolutely rough. Unfortunately, I haven't had any experience with the PC version and can't really corroborate the reports of lackluster performance. I've heard from friends, though, that it's almost totally broken, leaving PC players asking, why didn't the dev team just give it another month in the oven? This is tough because I wanted to like the Callisto Protocol. I wanted to love the Callisto Protocol. And at times, I really did. But at times, I absolutely hated the Callisto Protocol. It was an absolute emotional roller coaster ride from start to finish, which is where I think the Callisto Protocol kind of works. This game is all about feeling. The world it creates and heavy oppressive atmosphere it crafts make you feel totally immersed in the terrifying experience. The feeling of dread is strong. The feeling of frustration is strong. The feeling of relief after clearing out a room full of enemies is strong. But ultimately, this does not totally make up for a hackneyed sense of story, terrible boss design, at times rage-inducing combat mechanics, and a short experience that only took me around 7.5 hours, despite this game being advertised as being 16 hours. Therefore, it is with some trepidation that I lay down the almighty judgment of Sale. If you're an absolute nut for horror survival games, sure, go pick this up. But if you're on the fence, I highly recommend you wait until the Callisto Protocol comes on sale. All right, everybody, I hope this helped you make an informed financial decision. Once again, it's your boy, it's your man, Dirty C, signing off. Don't forget to subscribe, click the like, and comment down below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, y'all.